at each event to just be a warm, welcoming person and to kind of monitor if something came up. Well, I had the funniest experience because I ended up monitoring a game at the high school that was a girls' game. We had a group from South Arkansas that was 100% white, and I swear to you, every girl on that team was named Brittany or Tiffany. I mean, you could just hear it in the cheers. You go, okay, fine. And the other team was 100% Hispanic, had a black coach. Everyone, fans, coaches, the students, all spoke Spanish. And I'm sitting there enjoying life and thinking how cool this is. And all of a sudden, I see some of the teenage boys get up from the Brittany team and make their way over and plop down in the middle of the Hispanic cheerleaders. And I'm like, nothing good is going to come of this, you know? So I got up and I went and I just plopped down in the middle of the boys. They weren't sure what to do with me. I look a lot probably like the grandmothers. Whatever they were planning to do, they would not do in front of the grandmothers. And so they kind of just froze up. And so I'd say, hi, what you doing? Watching the game? Good, me too. Finally, they decided they weren't going to do whatever they were going to do, and they got up and said, you know, I think we'll go back to our side. We said, great, good idea. And they went back. Absolutely nothing more than presence. It doesn't have to be confrontational. It can be as simple as you're in a grocery store and you hear somebody behind you muttering about a Hispanic family standing there. Go stand by the Hispanic family. Just stand there. You don't even have to say anything. It may be as easy as being somewhere where you know that people are going to be uncomfortable. There is a group of black students getting ready to walk into an isolated convenience store and you know they're nervous. Go talk to them and walk in with them. Buy a soda, turn around and walk out. Your presence speaks volumes. Be the person who is friendly and acknowledges and sees them and make them feel protected and welcome. That's what you can do with your presence. The second thing that we have, and I'm well aware that this is a dirty word, but we have privilege. I am an older white woman living in a small town, and I'm well established. I can do things, say things, and go places that many people can't. I know that. I have everybody's phone number in my phone. I can call people. If something comes up, I can channel my inner Karen for good, and I can go find somebody to talk to about it. One of the strengths of our task force has always been, when something happens we need to address, we think about who should address it. Should it be a white voice? Or a black voice, or a Hispanic voice? Should it be a man or a woman? Who has a good relationship? We're a small town. Everybody's related to somebody somewhere. You can track down either who they work with, or who they're related to, or who they go to church with. Find somebody with that close relationship that will get a hearing, and a respectful hearing, and then make sure that they are respectful and they go and present the case. We have been able to do so much. I mentioned that our mayor, over time, has become very involved with the Arkansas Martin Luther King, including traveling with them to different events. You can't imagine what it's like when the mayor of Harrison, Arkansas shows up at an all-black event somewhere, out of town, that he's paying and going. You know, it's an incredible thing, and we're so proud of that. That's how you use your privilege, though. The third thing I'll say is how to be a witness if something happens. As more and more things move online and out in the public, confrontations are getting more, I don't want to say normal, let's say more prevalent. And the best witness we have are our phones. Keep these things on you. Keep them to where you know how to use them, where you can take pictures. If something happens, video. Get a picture of the person who might be being belligerent. Take a person of their vehicle. For heaven's sakes, get their license plate. The only one time I had a chance to be a hero, only got 3 digits of a license plate because I forgot. Couldn't get my phone up quick enough. Be prepared for that. And the other thing is, if you're in a situation where you really begin to feel that somebody may take your phone, know how to go live on your phone and be recording it to where if it gets cut off for whatever reason, it is still out there. I'm telling you all, these phones have changed the face of social justice in the United States. That may be leading to part of the backlash we're seeing right now, because for every movement forward, there's always a backlash in the civil rights movement. But we're going to keep moving forward, and that's what we're here for today. So I encourage you from the task force and from myself, Commit to being the best ally, advocate, and witness you can be, and use what you have, which is your presence, which is your privilege, and which is your phone, to go cause good trouble. So thank you so very much for being here today. Go get shirts and see Claire and I if you are interested in helping rep the task force. Thanks so much.
Thank you. So how's everybody doing this afternoon? Nice and cool and thinking, wow, we're out here causing some good trouble. So we invited several people to come and speak today. Obviously not all showed up. Some decided to go on vacations in completely other countries. Don't know who I've been talking about on that one. Others decided to go to the Peach Festival. It must be nice down there. But we're lucky today to have some really good candidates that did show up. Now, for all of you that don't know who I am, my name is Kelly Roberts. I am one of the organizers for Arkansas NORML, National Organization to Regulate Marijuana Laws. I did an amendment the last election, worked from that amendment from the writing stage to the gathering the signature stage to the voting stage, and then it was blocked. Now, being in the context, I know what that amendment would have done. It would have passed with an 86% margin onto it. So that tells me that I do listen to the people that are around here. That got me more involved with people. Harrison and Boone County have always been called the really red county. Really, we're more independent here. We tend to look at candidates. We don't try to look at parties, but we've gotten sucked into a party. But not all of us agree with that. So with the collective voices that Debbie and I started with last year, we wanted to bring other options to this county because a lot of people don't come to talk, to let people hear what they're wanting to do and their ideas. Now, I approached a certain gentleman by the name of Colt Shelby a while back and presented him with this, and he said, sure, I'll do it. And then he came back and said, oh man, I gotta work, but I've got somebody for you. And he said, she might be a little blunt, but she knows me really good. So I'd like to take this moment and go ahead and introduce you to Miss Elizabeth Shelby, who is very knowledgeable of Mr. Colt Shelby because Colt had to go out and work so he can pay his bills. He's out on a rig. And I'll let you know something. This man's a working man, blue collar. He's not from any rich people. He doesn't have that money smell to him. So I'd like to introduce you to Miss Elizabeth Shelby.
Okay, yes, my name is Elizabeth Shelby, and I am the wife of Colt Shelby, and I am a planner. So if you've ever watched any of Colt's debate, or if you've watched him on any videos on his social medias, he just gets up there and he wings it. I am the opposite of that, which usually happens in a marriage. And I am the planner, so I did plan out. He was unable to come, and he called me up and he said, hey, you're going to Harrison, Arkansas, and you're going to go speak for me. And he was like, and I was like, I don't like getting and speaking in front of people. And he was like, you do it all the time. If you don't know, I am a public educator. And, but with that being said, it has been summer, and so my speaking voice has been turned off for a few weeks. And so just bear with me. I am going to try to go with my plan, stick with my plan. Before I tell you a little bit more about Colt, I just wanted to say how meaningful it is to see many people gathered in the honor of John Lewis's lifelong commitment to civil rights. John Lewis, from what I've researched, believed that the most powerful, non-violent way to make change is through voting. He fought to ensure that every American had equal access to the ballot without unnecessary barriers or obstacles. His message remains just as relevant today. Like many other people, Colt and I were not heavily involved in politics until government overreach affected our own community. In 2024, our governor announced plans to build a 3,000-bed prison near our home without meaningful input from residents or even our local officials. Colt began asking questions. He contacted legislators, and demanded answers. He stirred up quite a bit of that good trouble that John Lewis talked about. What started out as one local issue quickly opened his eyes to larger problems facing Arkansas, from education and healthcare to government transparency and accountability. When our district was denied representation after the passing of Senator Gary Stubblefield, Colt saw an opportunity to stir up some more of that good trouble, that necessary trouble, and he took legal action and he won. That experience convinced him that if we want better government, ordinary citizens have to step forward and they have to get involved. Colt isn't a career politician. He has spent the last 22 years building a career in the oil industry. He started at the bottom, and he earned every promotion through hard work, determination, and integrity. Those are the same qualities that I've seen throughout our nearly 20 years of marriage, so it's not new qualities that he's gotten just because he's campaigning. He's hardworking, he's dependable, he's willing to tackle difficult problems when no one else will or they can't. More importantly, he genuinely, told you my speaker voice turned off, enjoys listening to people and learning about their concerns. He's not running for governor to gain power. He's running because he believes that Arkansas deserves leadership that is honest, practical, accountable to the people. His campaign is built on 3 principles: access, affordability, and accountability. He believes that every Arkansan deserves access to opportunity and a government that serves its citizens instead of creating unnecessary barriers. He believes affordability should allow families, workers, farmers, small business owners to keep more of what they earn and build a stronger future for themselves and generations to come. He believes that accountability means elected officials should always remember that they work for the people, not the other way around. Whether you already know about Colt or you're hearing about him for the first time, he welcomes any conversation. I encourage you to visit coltforarkansas.org, follow him on social media, or simply reach out by phone. We have some cards. If you want his phone number, they're on those cards. You can contact him directly. He truly wants to hear from people across the state. John Lewis reminded us to make that good trouble, that necessary trouble, and today that means questioning the status quo, demanding accountable leadership, and having the courage to vote for the future that you want to see. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. I hope you'll take the opportunity to get to know more about Colt and his vision for Arkansas. I appreciate you listening. Colt appreciates earning your vote in November. And if Arkansas sends him to the Capitol, I guarantee you will see good trouble.
Woo! Thank you. I think once Colt sees that video, she may get volunteered more. So politics and everything in the news here lately, they're talking about how we are being interfered with from other countries. And they labeled some countries under that. But we also know that with certain groups and PAC groups that you can legally interfere with our elections. Right now, it's this last primary, if you all noticed some mailers that kept coming into your mailbox talking about certain things, about certain senators, if you notice where those are, they're mostly from PACs from out of state, even PACs from out of country. So my opinion into it is, you've got all these people bragging about how much money they've got in the war chest. And I sat there and watched our state senator here, Mr. King. He won his, and he did not have to spend millions of dollars. He just got out and told the truth. He went out and represented the people. And that's what we need with good trouble. We need some people representation, not corporation representation, or representation from another country. What does another country need to be in our elections for? Legally, by getting the money. So as you're out there and you're looking at the candidates, please take a hard look at where they're getting their money from. Prime example, Mr. Colt bragging, I've got $10 million in my bank. Okay, where'd you get it? We dig deeper into it. You know how much money he gets from APAC? How much money he gets from all these other big corporations, the defense companies alone? Why? And then you really look right now, seeing all these advertisements from him about how he's saving the chip industry. Do we have a chip manufacturer in the state of Arkansas? I haven't seen one. So it's real interesting that politics have gotten really complicated, but they haven't. See who's backing these people. Back them yourselves if you feel that good about them. Look at Mr. Sanders, Bernie Sanders. Crowdfunded. Oh my gosh. They're all saying, well, he's a millionaire. Yeah, but he's a long-time politician and he's just a millionaire because he wrote a book. And then you get a politician who's been in there less than 6 years and they've already got 15 houses. Huh. So please, use that ballot here. That's what I do. Let's see who is really funding these people. Let's see why they're against certain things. Why are they scared of the people's vote? Why are they so scared of that? Because they know the people aren't happy. The people are not happy. They're out here creating good trouble. Okay, next speaker, if she's ready for it, Miss Green. Are you ready to speak? Come on up. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Terry Green. She's running as a Democratic candidate to replace Mr. Crawford, who,
Could you hold this while I'm going?
deemed to respond to my email saying no. He just didn't show up. And I tell you what he thinks about
What should I take? Oh,
So,
here.
Ms. Green,
Just the stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
got it.
Thank you all very, very much for having me. It's a beautiful drive to get here. It is. It is beautiful. And you have a beautiful city here. And I am very glad to be here on the anniversary of John Lewis's death to commemorate his life and his legacy. Our voting rights are under assault now more than ever. We need the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. I'm Dr. Terry Green, and I'm a pathologist. I spent my career looking at cancer under a microscope, helping to diagnose disease and find answers for people. And I was trained to follow the evidence wherever it led. I was trained to observe, see what was wrong, and see what needed to be done to fix it. And right now, I'm seeing a lot of things, that's why I ran, see a lot of things that I do not like in America and in Arkansas. First of all, the economic situation our farmers are in, and the rest of us having to pay more for gas and groceries, and it's not going to get better. And for the last 50 years, money has trickled up instead of trickling down. There's increasing inequality. Our infrastructure is not being funded the way it was 50 years ago when Eisenhower built the freeways. And Eisenhower warned us about a military-industrial complex, which is people owning stocks in military manufacturing and profiting off of war and driving war for profit. Which I believe is what is happening now. And I appreciate that word about where we're getting our money. You can look and see where I'm getting my money. Definitely grassroots. Definitely not millions of dollars. Definitely not taking super PAC money. I have I have received a little bit of money from the Arkansas Medical Association PAC and the Pathology PAC because I will represent doctors and medicine in general in Congress. I believe that everyone deserves health care, that health care should be a right. And I believe we have way too much bureaucracy surrounding our health care, that doctors' offices and hospitals shouldn't have to have separate departments of people to fight insurance and Medicare denials. That is increasing the cost of health care rather than decreasing it. The second thing that I see going wrong, or that I don't like in what I see, is the corruption of our government. And that's one of the things I promise to do is work to restore trust in the government, trust and accountability. We have a Congress that is spineless, that refuses to stand up to the executive branch and be a check and a balance. The first time I was eligible, this will tell you my age, and I'm not ashamed of my age. I don't believe that politicians need to stay in there until they have Alzheimer's and strokes and all of that. But if somebody is healthy and their mind is still functional, they should be able to represent us. But I would like to see if younger people run for office. I think that's a good thing. But anyway, the first time that I was eligible to vote in the presidential election, it was Ford versus Carter. We didn't talk about politics in my house. My dad was a football coach. He was a World War II Navy veteran. They had adopted me after they were unable to have kids. And my dad was my hero. And it reminded me of Gerald Ford, football, rah-rah, all of that. And I am a huge believer in the separation of church and state. Vouchers are a no-no for me. Absolutely not. I have one daughter, side note, I have one daughter who insisted upon going to a religious school for her education, and I paid for it, and I would not. It wasn't available to me at the time, but I would not accept public money, tax money for that. That's not right. Anyway, I am a big believer in the separation of church and state, and I don't know, I didn't know Jimmy Carter. I just knew he was a Baptist Sunday school teacher. And so I was a little suspicious about that, and so I voted for Ford. The other thing, the Republican Party at that time had just done the honorable thing and made Nixon resign. They were not the bad guys back then. So, but now they're falling down on the job. They are not doing what they need to do to support our Constitution and our rule of law, and they're letting us down. And that's why I think we need change. I think we need as many Democrats in office as we can get in the House and in the Senate. And to do that, we will need to work together and work hard. Almost exactly half of registered voters in Arkansas do not vote. Now, if this were a presidential election year, and somebody said, oh, my vote doesn't count because of the electoral college, yeah, that holds water. But not in a midterm year. Every vote counts in a midterm year. Every vote counts. And I don't know But, the Republican Party has a reputation of everybody always voting, don't they? Don't they have that reputation that every Republican always votes, and usually on election day, not early? Well, that makes me wonder. Those half of the registered voters that didn't vote, maybe they could be Democrats. Maybe a large percentage of them could be Democrats. So what we need to do is talk to our neighbors. Talk to anybody that will listen about voting. Are you going to vote? Do you vote? I don't care how you vote. Just do you vote? It's a nonpartisan issue. We don't have to be afraid of offending anyone, but we're just encouraging people to vote. And the other thing, since we are grassroots, I think every candidate would agree that the thing you can do to help democracy is throw us a little money our way. It does take money to put ads. It's ridiculously expensive to put ads on TV or to send out those individual mailers. It does. That's why those super PACs do all that stuff. Those super PACs, they send out those individual mailers to every household in Arkansas. Those fancy big cards with their gloss. And they put ads on paid media, on the TV stations, the radio stations, the Hulu, the internet. They put ads every place. It's ridiculously expensive to do that. I have a professional photographer, videographer, who has produced a 60-second ad for me. It looks pretty cool. Now I need some money to get it somewhere where people can see it. So, thank you all very much for having me. And power to the people. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys enjoying this? Getting some good information? Starting to learn a little bit more that there's more than just one party in this state. We actually now got 3, we've got several. We just need to be aware. We need to listen to what they're standing for. Because everybody has their core beliefs.